Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today I am not really spilling the tea, but we're just going to have a coffee chat. So, guys, stick around. Okay, guys, so for a lot of you, especially the newer subscribers, you've probably um, you don't know very much about me. You've probably never seen me until this month. It's been a while since I've put up a video that you actually see my face. You usually just see my hands. So I thought I would just sit down and talk to you guys a little bit and drink my coffee and just let you guys know a little bit about me, how I got into planning the future with my channel, things like that. So, the first thing I want to tell you about is how I became a planner girl, why I became a planner girl, and that kind of thing. So, um, like everybody, when you're in school, you have a little planner and you kind of keep up with your schoolwork and that kind of thing. Well, and I did do that. When I was in school, though, our school did not provide the planners for us. I know when my son started school, I was really impressed that, they provided them with a calendar or a way to track their assignments and that kind of thing. And I really liked that. Um, but once I got out of school, I was like, I really don't have a reason to use a planner. I was just on my own, Guys, this was before cell phones. This was way before computers, telling my age. And so I just, I knew how to keep up with my stuff. I thought I was good and, whatever. Um, so let's move forward quite a few years. Um, and I got to a certain age and I was like forgetting appointments and forgetting things, and life got complicated, and I had a son and I was married, and I had a parent that was sick. I had a father-in-law that was sick. I had a lot of things going on, and I just could not keep it all in my brain. And so I went back to planning, and I started out with just a monthly calendar, and that was it. And then I started with the disc planner that you could get through Office Depot and Staples, and I don't remember the name of it. But I started with, kind of went into that, and it was just pen and ink. I didn't know anything about stickers. And so I knew at that point that, my sinuses are killing me, guys. I knew at that point that I needed to go back into a planner. And let's move forward a couple more years, and my husband got sick. So I really needed a planner at that point to keep up with doctor's appointments and all of that. So I've really been a planner girl for years. I started out with a planner, then I kind of stopped, and then I picked it back up. So I've been a planner girl for a long time. So I'm going to move on into being a widow and what happened, and I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis. In probably, I don't know the exact year, it was, I want to say it was in 2014, my husband was diagnosed with colon cancer. He was diagnosed as stage 4. So it was really bad. So all of a sudden, we went from just annual doctor's appointments and that kind of thing to multiple scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, small procedures to mark cancer tumors, to having surgery, to radiation, chemo, and it was a lot because I had to take care of that because my husband was so sick. He could not drive himself. my son was not driving at the time. And so I was keeping up with all of that, plus my son's school, and he had to do a lot of volunteer hours for his school. And it was just a lot of stuff. And I was so thankful I had already started back into a planner. And so my husband battled cancer for 2.5 years. And in 2016, in January, my husband passed. My son was in his first year of college. He had completed one semester and was into his first month of his second semester, and he lost his father. So that is when I became a widow, and I struggled with that for a long time. And I will say that is also about the time that I discovered stickers for planners. And it was it kind of helped me through the transition from of everything that was going on, because I had something going every minute of every day, and then all of a sudden I didn't. And that was a hard transition for me. And so that is really when I discovered the whole sticker and planner community, and I'm so grateful that I did. The other thing that I want to tell you about me is that I love to travel. And at first, I traveled with my son because, I didn't feel right leaving him at home. And it was something to fill the time. And it was something me and my husband had talked about doing. And we didn't get there to do it together. So, before he died, you always have those poignant conversations, or those conversations about what's going to happen and that kind of thing. So, and we did. And he did tell me that he felt that I needed to get out and travel. He traveled for work all the time, and I didn't. I stayed at home. And so he expressed to me that he wanted me to get out and travel. We had planned a trip to Ireland, and we were in the middle of planning it when he was diagnosed. And needless to say, we didn't get there. And so I promised that I would do that. And so my first travel abroad was in my adult years with an adult son. My son was 19, and I never left the country. I was scared to death, guys. And so our first foray, my son and me, we figured it out, and we made it. Do we make mistakes? Yeah, we made mistakes, and I overpacked, and that's life. Guys, that's life. And so I really realized that I liked traveling. And so I continued to do some outings with my son. We went out west. I keep saying we went out west, guys, like, it's back in the old times, a stagecoach or something, but we went out west, and we took a tour there. And that was really one of our last biggest trips that we did together, because, he has his friends and, girlfriends and college and all of that. And then I went back to Ireland with another friend from work. And while I was in Ireland, I met two sisters, Jan and Daphne, and me and Jan clicked. We had a lot of the same life issues, and it was really weird how they overlapped. My husband died in January 2016. Her husband died June 2016. They both had stage 4 colon cancer when they were diagnosed. Our children. She had 2 children, but our sons were the same age. We both lived in the same size house. We both lived on the same amount of property. And it was odd amounts because it was a larger home and it was a larger land. And her husband's birthday was mine and my husband's anniversary. And then just this past year, her first grandbaby was born on my husband's birthday. So it seems like we just overlapped so much, and we had the same experiences. We just clicked. And so since that time, we have traveled together. And she lives in Canada and I live in North Carolina. So we will plan a vacation, and we'll like we met in Iceland and we toured together there, and then we left and went back to our homes. I have been to visit her in Canada. She has been to visit me here in North Carolina, and we have traveled to New Orleans, and then COVID hit. But we stay in touch and we keep up with each other, and I can't wait to be able to travel with her again. So and that is how I met Jan. So when I'm planning and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna meet Jan and we're gonna go here. That's my friend that I met in Ireland. The next thing I want to tell you about is one of the goals that I have for me. I put it down as life goal. It's not necessarily a life-changing goal, or it's what I want. But guys, for several years, I have wanted to buy an RV and hit the road. Not just because of COVID or anything like this. This is way, way, way before COVID. And it's something that I want to do, and I feel very strongly about it. And it's one of my things that I put on my vision board every single year, is that I want to travel, and I want to travel in an RV. And guys, I really felt like I wasn't sure if I could travel by myself. So meeting Jan kind of bolstered me a little bit, because she travels by herself a lot, or did, and she still does, and we traveled together. And I thought, I don't know if I can do this by myself. I don't know that I could go on a vacation, get in my car and drive somewhere and go on vacation by myself. And so this past vacation was to see if I could do that. Guys, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, because I could stop where I wanted to stop. I could see what I wanted to see, do the things that I wanted to do, and it wasn't compromising. Do I mind compromising with somebody and traveling? I don't mind. And I have had a ball, and I intend to continue traveling with my friend Jan and all of that. But I do want to get an RV, and I want to see all 50 states, and I want to travel through Canada. And I think by having an RV, it will allow me to do that. And it's not going to be a fast travel. It's going to be traveling to an area and seeing that area, and not just spending a couple of days there. I want to be able to stay there a week or more, and that's why I want an RV, and that's my goal once I retire. So when moving forward with my channel right now, I do show you guys some of my stuff, not necessarily on YouTube, but in Instagram, Facebook, that kind of thing. I do show my travels and that kind of thing. And this month for Juntastic, I have, oh guys, I know my vlogs weren't great, but it's the first time I've ever tried to vlog, and I'm hoping I'm going to get better. But I did share with you my traveling, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping that I can do more of that and share that with you guys on this channel. And moving forward, I hope to do more things than just planning and just showing you some of my life stuff. So I'm hoping to move forward with that, and expanding my channel just a little bit. I am a mom. I have one son. His name is Christopher, and he's 25 years old. I have one cat. Her name is Ellie, and she's 6 years old, and she is my family. I have a big family. I have 4 other brothers and sisters, and I have a mom with Alzheimer's. That really shook my world. As a child, you expect your parents to be strong and be there for you for a long time. And guys, my eyes are going to water, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to cry. It's very difficult for me, because my mom was the person that I reached out to. My mom, my aunt, and my friend Liz, when my husband died, because they had all lost their husbands, and she was there for me, and I will be there for her now, because it is very difficult. And I know if you've dealt with a loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia, you know that they can't help it and they can't control it. And there's not a whole lot you can do. Medications will help slow the progress, but that's about it. And we're at the point with my mom that she is advancing, and she's advancing what I feel like is quick. It may not be quick, but we are in the severe range. And yes, she's still at home. My brother is in the home with her, and I don't know what I would do without him, because he is there with her. My brother is in the home with my mom. God, I got strangled. And he takes the brunt of taking care of my mom. And that is hard for me, because I am, guys, my allergies are killing me. I am 2 hours from my mom. So for me to be able to take care of her, I would literally have to move to where she's at. And if you will not remember last year, I was looking for homes near my mom. And I felt like at the time that that's what I needed to do. And then a friend of mine, had a conversation with me, and it made me think about life. And the thing was, eventually we know my mom will have to go into a facility. We hope to keep her at home as long as we can, because we know that's the best thing for her. But we also know that eventually she probably will have to go to a facility. And at that point, is there a need for me to be there? I have not lived in the area that my mom and my dad and my family lived for 25 years, more than that. My son is 25, and I have lived here in this area, which is the east coast of North Carolina, outside of Wilmington, for about 3 years before I had Christopher. So at least 28 to 30 years I have lived here. Before that, I lived for 5 years in Virginia. And so I have not lived home in over 30 years, at least 35 years. And as it was brought to my attention, that's not my home anymore. This is my home. This is the only home my son has ever known, is this area. So my thought process was going down that road of, what am I going to do once my mom is no longer with us, or she is in a facility? What am I going to do? Because my son doesn't want to move there, because that's not his home. It's never been his home. So that is the reason why I never moved there. So I am thankful that I have a brother that is there with my mom. The next thing that I wanted to say was, I know a lot of people say, oh, I have 10 planners, I have 5 planners. I'm jumping all over the place, guys, but this is just the order I wrote the questions, the things I wanted to share with you. How many planners do I use, and why I use them? I use 3 planners consistently. I have a planner at work. Right now, it is a Hobonichi A6. That is changing. That will change in July, because I need more room. Things have gotten crazy. Things have gotten busier. I need to have more room in my planner. So I will be changing that. I use a Hobonichi cousin here that stays at home, that keeps me organized here. And then in my purse, I have a Wonderland 222B6, and that's my on-the-go planner. That keeps me organized when I am away. The other planner that I use is a Hobonichi Weeks, and I love my Hobonichi Weeks for social media, YouTube planning, and all of that. And it works perfect for me. And for a long time, it worked perfect for me for an everyday carry. But life just gets busy, guys. And it just didn't offer me enough room for that. But it is perfect for my social media. And then the last thing I have is a journal. So I really truly have 4 planners and a journal. Sometimes I struggle to keep up with all 4 of those in my journal. And sometimes I think I should go to something different. But I think right now I'm going to stay with this system for a bit longer. And I am looking at some routines, planner routines, and I'm hoping to have that video up for you guys, hopefully before this one. But I'm thinking that what I really need is a planner routine, and I think that's the way I'm going to move forward. My journal, I do have a video coming out. I think it will come up after this video. But my journaling is not something that is set in stone. It's not something that I do every day. There are periods in my life that I journal every single day. There are times that I'll go a week and I don't journal. There's times that I write 2 pages in my journal. There's sometimes I can barely get a page out. And I don't stress over it. I journal what I need to journal to get forward in life. I use it as a way to get emotions out. I use it as a way to get frustration out, to just have something to remind me later when, you feel like everything's going wrong. I can pick it up and I can say, you know what? My life is not so bad. So I journal for those reasons. And so for me, if I miss a day, it's okay. I used to think, oh my gosh, I'm a failure at journaling. And I'm not, because sometimes I just don't need to journal, and sometimes I do need to journal. And that's my journaling lifestyle. I talked briefly a little bit ago about my cat. My cat, her name is Ellie. She found me and my son when I needed her to find me. She was a stray. She came up to our home, and I didn't think I wanted a pet. I didn't think I wanted her. But, she made me see the light. She is just a regular, just everyday long-haired tabby, and I love her. She is tortoise color, and I think she helped get me through a lot of things in life. So I think of her as another child. And she is, when we first got her, after a week of her being in the yard and coming into the garage and eating, I decided I needed to make a decision. Were we going to keep her? What were we going to do? So I took her to the vet, did a whole checkup. We did the whole thing. Brought her home and started the flea medicine, brought her in the house, and that's where she's been ever since. She is such a sweetheart, and she was abused. There are signs that she was abused, and the vet said the same thing, that she felt like she had been abused, and pretty much her owner just turned her loose. And the reason we know these things is because she was neutered, spayed, neutered, whatever. Because my mind just went blank on me. She had been fixed, and usually they will mark a cat that's been picked up in the wild and either neutered or spayed and then released. And she didn't have the marking. And so we felt certain that her previous owner had done that. You could also see where the fur was worn down, where she used to wear a collar. And when we put her collar for her that has her rabies tags on her, she didn't fuss. She just went like she was used to it. So we knew someone had her at one time, and we felt certain that she was just released on her own. Could she possibly have been gotten out? Sure. But there were no signs in our neighborhood, and we lived in a fairly big neighborhood, so there was nothing put up on the bulletin board that someone's cat was missing. So we really feel like she was just released. And when we got test results back, she does. We at first we thought when the results came back, we thought she was one diagnosis and a feline leukemia, and that turned out to be a false positive. And when they retested her, what she truly was feline AIDS. So I can't have another cat in the house with her because it can be transmitted so easily with animals. It's not transferable from an animal to a human. She's in great health, and she can live a long life with it. She's not on any medication. She's, just a normal cat. And I don't tell a lot of people that that's what her issue is. But her life expectancy may not be as long as any other cat. But right now, we have had her for 4 years, so she was approximately 2 years old when she showed up. And so now she is approximately 6 years old, almost 7. And she is the light of my life, I'm telling you guys. When I was on vacation, I missed her so much. And apparently she missed me when I got home. She won't let me out of her sight. But that's my cat. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is I am living single. It took me a long time to get to this point of being happy being on my own. It has been a struggle. There have been periods of times where I've had anxiety. There has been periods of time where I've had depression. And I thank my son for being there for me and helping me get through all of that. And I have now been living not long by myself because my son has been in and out for a couple of years, and him and his girlfriend were in with me for a little over a year, almost 2 years. And since January, I have been on my own in my own apartment, and I was not sure how I was going to handle that. I didn't know if I was going to have some more depression. I didn't know if I was going to start having anxiety again. I wasn't sure. But I have been living on my own by myself for 6 months, and guys, I'm loving it. I am enjoying it. I feel like I have so much more freedom, and I'm excited about it. I do want to bring you guys an apartment tour and an office tour, and those things are coming. I just need to, guys, I struggle with showing my home because, I don't know, I am just struggling with that. And that is something that I need to do for myself, and that's coming. So hopefully in this Juntastic series, you will see an office tour at least, and if not, an apartment tour. So guys, stay tuned for that. I just wanted to let you kind of reintroduce myself to you guys and let you know a little bit about me and where I'm coming from. And because you see my hands, you don't see me a lot. So that's me, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.